Hello and welcome to SaltWire today for Wednesday, May 10th. I'm your host, Kate Walker. The provincial government is taking more steps to try and fix an ailing healthcare system in our province.
So today we are announcing that we are investing $17 million in 60 new and strengthened clinics that will connect more Nova Scotians to primary care they can count on.
The idea is to free up capacity in overcrowded emergency departments. The Houston government is adding 8 new family practice teams and more funding for 26 existing teams. This includes physicians, nurses, and social workers.
We know that comprehensive primary care that includes wellness and chronic disease management can prevent more serious health issues in the future. This provides a better use of our hospital resources by preventing the need to use them whenever and wherever we can.
6 new primary care clinics will be added and 10 clinics will be enhanced for people who are waiting for a family doctor. 1 new urgent treatment center and 2 new after-hours clinics will be added, and investments will be put into an existing after-hours clinic. There will also be 5 new urgent care centers. These locations are widespread across the province, and you can find specifics on the locations on the government's website. 1,800 school support workers in Halifax are on strike today. CUPE Local 5047 represents public school workers such as educational program assistants, child and youth care practitioners, diversity support staff, early childhood educators, and more. A union rep says the message from the members is clear, that the government needs to do better with full retroactivity for the expiration of the contract and needs to do better on wages. The Education Department had reached a tentative agreement with the bargaining teams for all 8 CUPE bargaining units representing 5,400 public school support workers across the province 3 weeks ago. The other 7 units have accepted the deal in recent voting. Classes are still in session without support workers, and the early childhood education program is now on pause, leaving many parents who rely on school support workers with more questions than answers on what to do with their children. The union workers have been without a contract since August 2020, when the past deal expired. Today marks the 14th anniversary of the murder of Tanya Brooks, an Indigenous woman who was found dead in Halifax in 2009. A memorial walk was held today in her honor and to raise awareness about the case that has yet to be solved.
If I don't do it every year, you're going to forget her. She's just going to be a number that's sitting on a board or a piece of paper. By us marching and bringing that awareness, we're creating her to be in your minds every day. I constantly would live with it every day. You guys only get to see it once a year. And we need more than just once a year for her to stay in the circulation. The more we put the pressure on in the media and circulate on the mainstream media and all social platforms, the more information out, the farther it reaches. Just maybe that person that's out there that's struggling with the guilt may just come forward.
Brooks was found dead beside the former St. Pat's School on Maitland Street in Halifax on May 11, 2009, just before 2:30 in the afternoon. Investigators were able to trace her movements until around 9 p.m. on May 10th.
And we think about all our sisters that were stolen. It's still something that is a crisis across nationally. Our women are still being murdered. Our women are still being missing. Our women are 12 times to experience violence. It's not stopping.
Police say investigators believe Brooks knew her killer or killers and that there are people who have information that could help solve her murder.
Her life was tossed aside as if it was nothing. How can somebody live with that? That's not acceptable. Not today, not tomorrow, and not the next day. Ever should a life be taken, be forgotten. And it's certainly at the hands of somebody else.
Police say they hope that the passing of time will encourage whoever knows something to do the right thing and come forward, and that it's never too late. Brooks's case is part of the Major Unsolved Crimes program, which offers cash rewards of up to $150,000 for information leading to the arrest and conviction of people responsible. Police are investigating a shooting yesterday in Dartmouth. Around 4 p.m., police were called to the area of Primrose Street and Jackson Road. One person was taken to hospital. Police were seen taking a dog out of the house after the shooting. Just after 9 p.m., police reported they were no longer on scene. There's no word on the victim's condition or any suspects. It's time now for a glimpse of today's Thinking Out Loud with Sheldon McLeod. Today, Sheldon is speaking with Erica Fleck about Emergency Preparedness Week.
Has there ever been a study done as to how many people actually take this serious enough to put together an emergency kit?
Yeah, so we rely a lot on United States statistics, and about 30% is what FEMA reports. So we suspect it's about the same in Canada. The numbers are not very high. People think, oh, I'll get to that later. No, I'm ready. I'm good. And a lot of times people aren't, unfortunately. And so it is a lot of preparation. It doesn't take a lot of time, though, really, to have a small emergency kit ready in your home, just things you may not or may need. If the power goes out, for example, how do you charge your phone? So we all love our cellular devices and we're all very reliant on them. Heaven forbid we have teenagers who can't communicate with each other, and all those basic things. But, on a serious aspect, people need to be able to get out of their homes quickly if they need to as well. Where do you go? Paperwork that you need, and how to do everything safely, but really how to hunker down in your home if you absolutely need to. And again, you have no power. That's one of our biggest enemies, as we'd say, is the no power for a few days. How do you feed your family? How do you safely do all those things that you would normally do?
And for Sheldon's full conversation, head to the opinion section of SaltWire.com. Time now for the Atlantic Sports Wire, presented by Scott Squires.
Thanks, Kate. Here's part 2 of my conversation with Moncton, New Brunswick native James French, who's had a love of basketball most of his life, and he wants to be able to share his passion for the game with others. What's your message to younger players that would be listening or watching this in terms of things that they should do from your point of view to get better and to pursue a basketball career?
Yeah, so a couple pieces of advice. I'd say always be ready to go. You never know when your time's going to come. When I was playing at Crandall, I thought for sure that, after Crandall, that was it. I was going to retire. So, I had no idea that this opportunity was going to happen. So just, always staying ready to go is a big thing. And, if you're a guy that, kind of sits on the bench, you never know when your time's going to come in to get some minutes. So be ready to go. And when you're out there, do the best you can. And also, I would just say, do the extra things, right? Everybody has to go to practice. That's kind of the baseline. But, how many guys are stretching on their free time, going to the gym, getting extra shots up, right? All these little things are what separate, the great players from the good players. So making sure you kind of put the extra time in to separate yourself from everybody will kind of help you stand out and develop your game. So I'll just be mindful of those.
You can check out my full conversation with James by clicking on the video or podcast tab at saltwire.com. And also, you can check it out on our SaltWire YouTube channel. And while you're there, like the video and subscribe. In Halifax, I'm Scott Squires for the Atlantic Sports Wire.
Thank you, Scott. On to weather now to see what's coming up in the forecast. We're going to check in now with our weather specialist, Alistair Alders.
Thanks, Kate. Well, all in all, not a bad weather day here in Halifax. We had bright sunshine this morning and then a few more clouds in the mix this afternoon. Still looking at fair weather as we head towards the upcoming weekend, too. This evening, partly cloudy skies and the temperature near 10 degrees and mainly sunny waking up on your Thursday morning, rising from 3 degrees. Now, in the afternoon, more so a mix of sun and cloud, and we'll have some sea breezes setting up, so that means a contrast in temperature tomorrow. Directly along the coast, Peggy's Cove, Terrence Bay near 9 degrees. In the city, I'm thinking 15 degrees, and then further inland towards the airport, 20 degrees your high tomorrow under that mix of sun and cloud. Looking at much the same on Friday, and we could even get a bit warmer for inland locations on Friday. And then yesterday I told you about Saturday with the broken showers and a risk of thunderstorms. Well, that is still in the forecast. However, I have updated my outlook, and I do expect a bit of sunshine to be in the mix, especially later Saturday. So a bit of good news, it won't be a total washout on Saturday. Temperatures rising ahead of this cold front. Behind it, we do bump back down on Sunday. Kate.
Thank you, Alistair. That's all for now. For more extended video and full online articles, stay tuned to saltwire.com, and you can find us on social media. I'm your host, Kate Walker. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.